we've seen exponential growth in the blockchain space in just a year since we've spoken. We've seen organizations, big tech companies getting to the space, even China getting to this. So let's talk about that. So let's start with Facebook, with Mark. Why do you think it's getting so much scrutiny from a lot of organizations, from the government? And do you think it's the right decision for Mark to delay the launch of this Facebook project?
I think the thing about Libra is everyone thinks that it's a coin, and it's not really a coin. It's more like a platform, right? A platform that big stakeholders have signed up to, and many of which have left, right? So it's in trouble. I think there's a bit of Facebook bashing that's been going on for some years. The fact that they can launch money is frightening people, getting them a bit kind of freaked out, and this is maybe a stick to beat him with, and I don't hold out much faith that it's going to work. I think they're going to stop it.
Well, I think what they're trying to solve is fast, borderless payment solutions, but it's been available since Bitcoin has been invented, so it's nothing new, right? And it's going to happen in a private ledger as well, which may be the reason why people are kind of afraid on this. So delaying this, do you think is a right move for them?
Well, I think it's just the beginning of the end, to be fair. I mean, the thing about Bitcoin is, you can do international payments by PayPal, by Bitcoin, whatever you like, but you don't have billions of subscribers, you know what I mean? So the idea of doing it is a pretty good idea, but I think he underestimated the opposition that it would unleash against him, and I don't think it will survive.
What is interesting now is because of Libra coming out, like big companies like that, the European Union is actually drafting a proposal to the European Central Bank to issue their very own central bank digital currency. They're going to call it digital euro. So what do you think about this? Is this going to work for the European citizens, just like you?
Well, not for much longer as an English guy. The worst decision ever made in the history of my country, for the record. I think a lot of traditional or existing financial institutions are trying to be all sexy and cool with this new digital coin stuff. And a lot of the initiatives that they think are really, really interesting aren't that interesting at all. They're just trying to be one of the cool kids. And I think the example that you just posited is one of those.
Among the thought leaders that you have spoken to, where do you think they should focus on in terms of communicating the very essence of technologies such as blockchain and artificial intelligence?
Blimey, great question. Completely knocked me over. I don't. There's a lot of tech leaders who aren't tech leaders, you know what I mean, and they pretend that they are. I've met quite a few of them. I tell you, I've met a real load of them. Kim Kardashian actually was one. I mean, everyone knows her of a TV show and a certain tape, but she's doing amazing stuff. You know what I mean? She's a billionaire entrepreneur. I mean, that's the fact. She's a billionaire female entrepreneur. She shouldn't be derided so much. She's doing great work in getting US prisoners out of prison. They've been on a free strike sitting them out for stealing a bag of crisps. She rehouses them, gets them jobs. You know, those are the type of people that doing real stuff for real people, not just for themselves. You know, and I think there's a lot of thing to be said for blockchain for good. You know, we were talking about it last night, that if blockchain could affect the way the charities are, you know, the way that money is not wasted in charities. And there's also great things about the sourcing of, you know, ethnic materials such as cobalt and DIC. I think IBM have got something to do with it. There's also Ford, they're doing a lot of stuff with lithium batteries, so there's no child labour. Those are the things that interest me, the people that are doing stuff for what is basically a burning up planet, you know what I mean?
Amazing insights. Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
Since you've mentioned about people actually doing for other people in China, their president recently announced that they would like to get into the blockchain technology, finally. But so what do you think is going to happen? What do you think will be the impact of China getting to this space for the world?
Well, I don't think it's finally. I mean, I was at the Houses of Parliament maybe late last year, and it was a lunch between UK and Chinese blockchain companies, right? It was a very interesting lunch. Maybe I can tell you off camera what happened. Probably not for general consumption, but it was a very interesting experience. And they've been working together for a long time. So it's no surprise that their president comes out with, suddenly the price of Bitcoin goes up and everyone goes crazy, that China's now, supporting blockchain. China's also doing a lot of social scoring of people to get passports, to like the right thing, not to be out of touch. Mixing that up with blockchain, not so sure. It could be quite scary.
Well, interesting. We're going to look forward to that. Thank you so much, Monty.
Always, I'll see you next year.
Maybe you'll see me again next year.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Lovely to
Really
speak to you.
appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. No problem.